Hello, my dear Sagittarius, and welcome to March. I hope you all are doing well. I personally am just overcoming a little bit of a cold in the sinus type area, so please just excuse me if there's extra throat clearing or anything like that. I'm going to take a moment here and just clear the energy space around your reading and take this moment to go ahead and get comfortable. Find yourself a place to sit, grab your coffee or your tea or a glass of water, whatever suits you. And we'll come in here with some Palo Santo after the white sage here to just really invite your spirit team to come forward and to help you to absorb this reading. I'd also like to remind you to release any expectations for the reading. If you have a specific intention, that's okay. But we just want to be careful of having too much expectation. And just know that your spirit team is here to speak with you and to guide you along this journey. And whatever it is that comes through will be perfect for you. Okay, so let's dive in. We'll begin with the positions of where your cards are placed. We have the center here, which is the overall energy of your reading. The past, or what has been recently overcome, or sometimes what has been suppressed. We have your mindset here, what's going on cognitively, your spirit team message, and then also your forward movement, or your next step moving forward into the future. And then we have the Lenormand here, which is read just like a sentence from left to right. So let's see what the energy is for your reading. Okay, divine light. I love this. So it was in the reverse, but the energy is still very high vibrational. It may just mean, if it's reversed, that you're having a hard time to let the light in, or you're feeling like there's a little bit of a heaviness on your shoulders. Okay, we'll come back to that. In the past here we have thunder. And I really love the thunder here because, as we've seen it before in the Tower card of the traditional tarot, this is a Native American deck, and it talks about the connection between Father Sky and Mother Earth, and the lightning bolts are them having that beautiful one-on-one connection and meeting. So when we think of thunder in the tarot and in Oracle, this is about energy and power being given to you. It was in the reverse, but you'll actually see me a lot of times flip the cards once we get to a certain point. This was right side up here, and your cognitive dissonance, or your cognitive space here, is about nurturing, and this is the red coral that comes from the oceans. So it's, which can be found all over the North American continent. Not anywhere coastal, but inland as well, where people have traded and moved that coral all the way up to the Yukon and things like that. So this is about the blood of the earth. This is about the body, maybe prioritizing health. And then your messages from the spirit realm is this victory card, counting coup. And it was actually better in ancient times to grab somebody's feather with this staff here than it was to kill them. So it was more humiliating to have your possessions taken from you in battle than it ever was to die in battle. So in very, very ancient times, people would not even try to kill one another. It was more just, taking their pride away. Interesting there. So then in your future, we're doing this great smoky mirror. And so this is about self-reflections, and perhaps a self-reflection that's been a little bit tainted or doesn't feel quite authentic to you. So let's go into the Lenormand and see if we can get a background of the story here, because so far it's a little all over the place. Okay, so we have fast moving energy here towards your goals. Beautiful, fruitful energy here with the clover. We have a death card. They come in every once in a while. The Empire card, which would be the Tower in traditional tarot. However, it's slightly different meaning. It's more about the empire and what it is that you're creating. Then we have the scythe. So there's something that's ready to be released. And then we have the whip. So working too hard. And that makes a lot of sense here with nurturing. And then with the power being upside down, same with divine light being upside down. So it seems to me that you have this goal, you have the victory here, and the universe wants you to succeed in this goal. It seems to be quite intuitively guided, but you could be coming to a point of burnout here with the nurturing, the death card. We have the scythe there, and of course the whip as well, which is just working yourself into oblivion. But I do want to show you the bottom of the deck here is the field of plenty, and this could very well be one of the most high vibrating cards ever. So this is a cornucopia. It's like this little tornado that you see in Thanksgiving times, and it's filled with all of the abundance of the world. And that was the lesson in the giveaway ceremony that we know now to be Thanksgiving, because the native people were trying to teach a lesson to the colonizers about the abundance of earth, and how if you give something, even as simple as thanks, you will receive based upon that feeling of gratitude. There's always more where that came from, things like that. So you're learning how to manifest and how to see all of the joys that the world has to offer as you're building this empire here with your intuitive knowledge and bringing forth that power from, it seems, somewhere very, very divine. Okay, let's dive into this past here. What are we releasing now? And at the very bottom of the deck here, before I even shuffle, we have solitude, and it says alone but not lonely. And we've seen a lot of threes. Yes, 1 and 3, 3 and 6, 3 here. We'll see if more come forward. Oh, that's why. It's because there is a 3 here as well. Anyhow, okay. So let's see what it is that we are releasing now for Sag. Okay, what are we releasing? What is ready to be brought to light that has up until now been suppressed? Okay. Well, many of the signs have been getting this card, and it really makes me happy. I really love these blue tones. I'm going to let these stay together. It's like this midnight. You know, some of you may be burning the midnight candle. I know for myself, I get my most work done in the middle of the night. It just happens to be when the world is nice and calm and serene and nobody is awake. Okay, but it says the magic that you seek is inside of you. Let it flow. And so I think some of you may be feeling a little bit alone on this intuitive journey. It's almost like you need someone to talk to about it so that you can best understand where you are on this journey as well. And now at the bottom of the deck here, we have sort of this Phantom of the Opera type character here, which I think is really gorgeous because there's only so many masculine cards here. And this one says, honor yourself. And we have another 9. We've had lots of 9s too. Wow. Okay. We have a 3 and a 1, 3, 6, a 3, 6 here. So maybe it's 9s that are coming through for you. In any case, this is about that masculine energy, that masculine part of you that up until now has been trying to think yourself into oblivion, or perhaps overthink your way through this victory, through this scenario. And the masculine energy of ourselves is actually meant to cradle and to hold and to nurture the feminine part of ourselves, which is letting that divine light in. And we have the thunder here, which is again that Father Sky, Mother Earth coming together, that masculine meets the feminine. So there's a balancing that's going on here. Now let's dive into more of this goal, what it is that you are focusing on in your mindset. Slow and steady. Beautiful. I think it was Pisces who also got this card. So the energy is just very high for March. For this to be a very intuitive, very free-flowing journey. It's not meant to be quick. You're not meant to cast your sails and then be there already. It's more about seeing all of the beautiful details in the leaves as you crawl across the forest floor, if you will. And so there's magic to be found here. And we see that here as well, where the magic is within you. You're just looking for it. You're finding it. Let's see if there's another message here for my dear Sag on how we can do this. Okay. And we have follow the leader. So you're here to lead. You're here to make this happen, to make this work. And I think that up until now it's been kind of stressing you out. You're sort of thinking, how can I get to that top? How can I exceed the expectation? But the underlying energy is what is running the show. So it's time for you to really and truly understand that you've been given this gift of victory. And I really just love this because at the bottom of the deck here we have Field of Dreams, and here we had Field of Plenty. So, and 2 and 1 is 3. We have a 3 here. We have lots of 4s too. This is a 4-0. We have a 1 and 3, which equals 4. 1 and 2 equals 3. A 4-0 here, 2-0 there. So 2s, 3s, 4s, 9s. 2 and 7, 3 and 6. I won't focus too much on it. 3 and 6 here. 3 and 1 is 4 here. So the duplicate numbers are very, very heightened. Okay. So the Field of Dreams with the Field of Plenty, this is again just understanding that everything that you ask for is going to be given. You will have more than enough that you need in order to succeed. I would practice making every single day somewhat of the Thanksgiving holiday, where it's like, you know, here's where we are, here's where we want to be. I'm going to give thanks, and I'm going to give some of those things that no longer serve me. You know, our angels love to relish in those things. So a lot of times you can just simply set the intention to no longer carry a heavy weight on your shoulders, and then there it is, and your guides will take it from you. Yes, and your guides are asking for radical trust. This is the messages from your spirit realm, and it goes hand in hand here with the divine light getting to you. It seems that you have this dream, you have this goal, whatever it is that you are manifesting. And it could just be your spiritual insight, your ability to speak with your spirit team and transcend, go through that meditative journey, sort of getting to the Akashic records, if you will. That's what this reminds me of here, walking through the light. And then we have this trust here, trusting that your ship is going to come in, trusting that everything is working out in your favor, and trusting also that the energy behind you is so sweet and fun and magical that it's okay to trust yourself. And so I'm going to flip that one upside right now. And so we have trust there. Let's see what else comes through for you. Trust in miracles. Okay, very specific. So it's time for radical optimism to truly be able to see what you're capable of. Okay, and it does seem that enlightenment is a huge piece of this puzzle for you. And we have this very beautiful flying energy. So again, with the Akashic records, I just love this enlightenment here. It's almost like they're going on this ship up into the cosmos to consult with their spirit team, to look at past lives maybe for some of you. So you could be feeling called in that direction. And if so, I do teach in the Akashic records. You're able to get certified from me if you would like to. Let's see now what is going to be the expression from you, Sagittarius. What is ready to be expressed as we go into that future concept, the future outcome is gentleness. Okay, and I feel that this is very much coming from a gentleness with yourself. I know we have someone who is, you know, this bride here. It's kind of like a Mother Mary type energy. So it's like that mother's love. It's like giving yourself so much love and gentleness that you will always be taken care of. And compassion. Okay, so very strong energy there of taking care of yourself. We have the angels here looking down on you. We have the white doves there with that bride type energy. And I think it's actually very gorgeous. I think that you're going to come up to this really new awakened state, because at the bottom of the deck here we do have awakening. So the higher sources, your spirit team, your ancestors, whatever it is that you believe in. I'm not here to tell you what to believe, but as a spiritual coach, I'm here to help you solidify that belief so that you can see yourself truly soar without all this burnout, because it's something that everybody sort of goes through as we go on to this awakening journey. So let's dive in next here to the momentum that is carrying you right now. What is the momentum that's driving Sagittarius through this? Okay, 2 cards here. Number 1 is the Hearth Fire. Very, very cool. So another nod back to this Solitude card. You're not meant to go about this alone. It's not in your highest good not to go out and celebrate and to see friends and go dancing or whatever it is, game nights or what have you. And I know many of us have been experiencing lockdown up and down. A lot of people are still in lockdown, but having those Zoom calls or, you know, just having that support with either your family, your friends, a support coach of some kind. You know, I do coaching. I know there's so many spiritual coaches out there. They're pretty easy to find. And some of you may be feeling drawn to some of those ancient traditions. We mentioned ancestors and figuring out where your place is, where it is that you're going to be. I am hearing for some of you offer services. If you have been on the healing journey, it may be that some of you are wanting to perform your own healing. Okay, and at the bottom of the deck here we have the 10 of Stones, which is home. And I really love this card because there's this protection aspect here. And I really love the shapes. It's like this containment of like bringing it all in, housing your energy in your heart space and building it out of stone. So again, really solidifying that belief. What is it that you believe to be true? What part of the universe do you trust the most on your journey? Really practicing that trust and really bringing yourself that gorgeous energy of knowing that all of the things that you need are going to come to pass and having that guarantee. It's like when, I don't know who says it, a lot of people do, but you know, there's that quote, what would you do if you knew that you could not fail? And for many of you, it's going to be to hone in on your skills and to become this shaman or this sage or this healer. So we have the owl here, 360-degree view, being able to see through deceptions, being able to see past other people's perceptions and really having sort of that magical edge. And then we have the wolf here, which is a teacher and a guide and this healthy hierarchy. So we've mentioned the masculine and feminine being in perfect balance. And then we see it again with this nurturing card going into your hindsight of what makes you you. And so we have that there at the bottom of the deck, just to remind you that some of you are here to be a teacher. So if the Akashic Records has been calling you, let me know, because you can be a teacher of that. I've also been dabbling in human design and doing human design readings, if that's something that interests you as well. It's a really beautiful way to just understand how your aura is projecting, and that's what we're going to be talking about next here with these cards. This is all about the parts of you that are coming forward and aiding you at this time. And we have the Two of Water, or the Love card here. And for some of you, it may be a romantic partnership, especially with this solitude here. We have the hearth fire coming together. So, excuse me, many of you are going to be called to partnerships. And if you're in a business endeavor, it could be a partnership situation. If it is you who's on the spiritual journey looking to expand your gifts, this is again the masculine and feminine parts of you coming together to be in perfect balance. If you're in a relationship and this is kind of screaming relationship for you, then I would encourage you to reach out to me, because I don't usually focus on love relationships in my general readings, just because there's so many different ways that it could go and it invites another energy in. So instead, we'll go into what makes you truly you. And we have an owl again here. I knew there was a reason why I pulled this card out. This was at the bottom of the deck. And then we have this hierarchy card here of integrity. So we have the owl, two different types of owls, but the owl nonetheless. We have this integrity here. This is a woman who's sitting in her power. You know, she's not uncomfortable. She's not threatened. She's just like, this is who I am completely as I am. And we have the jaguar here, which is actually the protector of humanity in ancient Mayan and Central American concepts. So there's this lover of humanity. The overall message here is integrity. So again, that authentic piece of you. Both of these characters are quite wise. Again, it could very well be this sort of balance here, this balanced relationship of the pieces of you. So here is your feminine side, totally open and receptive and standing in integrity. And we have the golden apple here, really being without fear. And then we have the masculine here, which is wise and has performed the trial and error and has seen the depths of how things could be and is ready now to protect that woman. So I really love that duality there. I'm going to go ahead and put both of those together, masculine and feminine, to have that position. And it leads us right here to this beautiful tradition card as well. So many of you may be feeling the want and need to offer healing services, which I would say to go for it. But as you do so, we have this great smoky mirror there, which just indicates that maybe there's parts of you that are thinking, well, am I going to be good enough at this? Or is this going to be something that I can really do? In which case you need to cut out the negative self-talk, anything that is negating how you can do it, or if you can do it, then of course it's just you getting in your own way. Let me see if I can adjust this light because it's very shiny. Okay, I'm hoping that you all can still see things. Okay. At the bottom of the deck here we have the counselor, and these whales here are another nod to the Akashic records, because the whales themselves are about records. They're so ancient, they're so, prehistoric, that they hold records of the ancient times and of the dinosaurs and things like that. But this counselor here is in the sign of water. This would be like the Knight of Cups. And we have a goddess symbol here, but then this face is rather masculine, right? So this non-binary energy that just says, I am in perfect balance, and though I am of water, I am still a knight, and I will fight for what is right in terms of keeping the ancient concepts alive, which it seems you feel very drawn to with this tradition card here, the sage, the shaman, divine light coming through and allowing that divine light to guide you on this journey, this path of creating your empire and creating your legend. And we have the witch here as well, which is that intuitive edge, that intuitive knowledge. So the counselor could be an indicator that it is time to reach out to someone who is maybe just a couple steps ahead of you in business or whatever it is that you are creating, whatever endeavor it is that is for you, it may be time to have someone come forward just to talk with you about where you are and to strategize those next steps. And let me know if you feel drawn to me for that. I do offer one-on-one strategy sessions along with Akashic Records sessions. Just that one-on-one support can really be helpful. The animal that's coming to aid you now is another 4, which I think is really lovely. Lots and lots of 4s. And we have gentleness yet again. So another nod there that your way forward is going to be best suited by a gentle heart. Again, that slow and steady pace. Slow and steady wins the race. And then we have leadership again. Wow. Okay, so duplicate meanings here and the big cats coming through for you. You're most definitely meant to be a leader on this journey of life. You're stepping into a new way of being, and it gets to be sometimes hard to trust that we're on the right path when we're second guessing ourselves. And for some of you, you're doing all the things that you know to do. You're pushing yourself to the point of stumbling. So again, coming back to that nurturing and balancing yourself, getting accurate amounts of rest as you're cultivating this energy. It's like you're pulling upon the energy of your higher sources, which is quite beautiful. But just remember that as you're emerging into this new state of being, that you're accepting yourself, and that when you look into the mirror, you see yourself as an extension of divine light rather than anything that could resemble failure or, energy there that is not quite abundant. Okay, and what's going to help you connect higher to your sources, connect to your higher sources with the path of least resistance is this journey card. So another nod to this slow and steady wins the race. It says, focus on how far you've come, not how far you have to go. You will find help in unexpected places. Yes, so reaching out to some sort of a counselor, a spiritual coach, a practitioner of some kind, someone to do a one-on-one call, just getting on that Zoom call and saying, hey, this is what I'm doing. What do you see for me? And allowing them to get that higher perspective and say, okay, here's everything that you're doing, but it does seem to me like the underlying energy may be in need of some gentleness, some compassion for yourself. And for some of you, you're going to find a healing journey awaits you as well. It says, bless all in need of healing, hope, and love. Spirit, grant us strength and wisdom, guide us to the path of wellness. So some of you are going about your own healing journey. I do feel that for some of you, you're going to be feeling the need to offer healing services, even though that might feel very down the line because some of you are feeling a little topsy-turvy, but there is that need to trust in miracles and to understand this leadership role that you have been placed in. There's something calling you, and it's calling you quite strongly to say you're not meant for this burnout, this 9 to 5, or, this mundane existence. That's not for you. And so you tend to sometimes get yourself in a state of like this, where it's like, I'm burnt out, I'm done, I don't want to go forward. And the universe just wants you to shift into more of this pose here. Quite similar stance, however, very, very night and day different, right? One is calling upon her angels, guides, spirit team. One of them is like, I'm here, I'm ready for the world. Go ahead and bring me whatever it is that will come to me. Okay, so it's a very gorgeous realization, I think, that many of you are having, which is understanding you can't always do it all. You can't always do it all alone, I should say. It's time to reach out to somebody somewhere. You can just search up wellness coaches, spiritual coaches. I recommend Facebook groups for that, to find those coaches and where they are, so that you can have this one-on-one moment here where it feels very much like this. Your spirit team is coming together for you. You light a fire and dance around it, you know, and start feeling like this oneness within you, this balance going on, and then you get to move forward with this slow and steady pace that feels very magical. And it feels almost like, you know, we have this snail shell here, and it's like, it's frustrating sometimes to be in a slow state of mind, but it's important to note that going slowly is much, much better than going nowhere at all, right? Like this energy here in the center of this woman who's down on her hands and knees and she's just had enough, she's not going anywhere. Wouldn't you rather be here with this energy of, well, at least everything is magical. At least I'm seeing the leaves and the grass, where here the eyes are closed. She has wings, but her higher sources are just like, oh dear, you know, not again. And it's because you're working yourself too hard. You're seeing what happens when we try to follow the corruption of the world, right? Which says build and climb and build and then burn out and then get up and build and climb and build and burn out, right? It's not sustainable. So it's time to move out of that mundane situation. It could be a relationship, it could be, you know, just feeling like that back and forth energy, and really taking the time to focus on yourself. Be gentle with yourself, look at yourself in the mirror, and again, remind yourself how far you've come, not how far you have to go. Because even with this energy here, moving even in the slightest way is gorgeous. It's beautiful, and it puts that trust into your leadership role, and it puts trust into your higher sources as well. So again, you're being guaranteed this victory. You're being guaranteed that everything that you need is going to come forward for you. You are not going to lack for anything. It just looks that way when you're burnt out. And when you're not burnt out any longer is when you're going to feel aligned with that next step, and you're going to feel ready to move on that path. And it's going to be very divinely guided. Your sources are going to be behind you. You're going to have that sort of owl outlook, which is, no matter what it is that goes on around me, I know what's true for me. I know what's right for me. And you can sort of summon this energy here, which is, the magic lies within you. It's not something that you reach outside of yourself for. It's something that you go deep, deep within yourself, within your heart, within your mind, and you find that steady place in the mirror. I actually really love the synchronicity here too, where they look quite similar. This is Celtic, this is Native American, but the vibration is sort of the same. We have the standing stones here, we have the smoke here, we have the talismans here, and we have the pipe there. It's like calling upon whatever it is that strikes your fancy and seeing it through in order to awaken that part of you that speaks to your integrity, your authority, you know, and that's another human design vocab word as well. If that's something that you're interested in, let me know. I put everything in the description box for the Akashic Records course, my spiritual trainings, my spiritual coaching, and the human design readings as well as booking a personal reading. So I hope this was helpful for you, Sagittarius. I think this is a beautiful reading about staying the course without burning out. If you're burning out, take care of yourself, okay? And it doesn't always mean rest. It means more so about you getting out in the sunshine and playing outside in the grass and seeing sort of these natural elements of earth, where you're able to really see the beauty of the forest, the beauty of the mountains or the hills, or, you know, whatever is wild there where you are. And you're going to find that the traditions of the people who have passed, or the traditions of your ancestors, will find you there in these remote places, because the world gets quiet, and then we're able to connect farther, and then we get that inspired idea to come forward and build that empire, to move that forward action even more influential, you know, even more impactfully. There we go. So you have a huge impact to make here on the planet, Sag, and I think that you all are doing fantastic. You just are finding yourself in these moments that are here like this, and it's important to note that we all find that, but there's no need to go about this alone. I think the best thing that you can do is reach out to someone and just get a second pair of eyes on whatever it is that you're doing, and re-invoke that trust. You know, it's like readings like this, or on one-on-one sessions where I'm working with my clients. A lot of times I'll say a phrase or something that to me is just kind of comes to me out of nowhere, and then the client is just like, wait a second, what did you just say? And it's something that, you know, they grew up with their grandmother saying, or they grew up, you know, hearing from some way or another. And it just re-invokes that trust of like, okay, there's no way that she could have known that. So now there is a higher source coming forward. There is more to the story, and you're ready for that quick action. This is quick action here, quick action here. This is longevity action. We have slow and steady action. There's like so much movement here for you. And I think many of you are just really looking to embark on this awakening, this enlightenment journey here, and truly trust yourself as you go through with it, allowing yourself to take that time for yourself, allowing yourself to truly feel what it's like to be engulfed in that divine light, in this spiritual awakening. And it's so beautiful. You're going to be really falling in love. We have standing stones here, like Stonehenge, and standing stones here, more like the spiral of standing stones. So like Inverness, there it is. I was waiting for that word. So definitely come back to the basics. Balance your masculine and feminine sides. Do some EFT tapping or Akashic Records journeying, whatever it is that feels good to you, to really get yourself back in the zone energetically, to align with your higher sources and to call those higher sources in, because your angels, your spirit team, is very much watching. They're around you, and they're seeing you burn out, and they want so much to infuse you with this light. Your job now is to invoke this energy here, which is stillness and blessed understanding that the journey is long, but that doesn't mean it's also treacherous. Okay, so I will leave you with that, Sag. It has been wonderful. I hope you will check out the description box. Always comment. Let me know how this has resonated with you. I'm a new account, so your likes and subscribes mean so much to me, as I am starting brand new on this channel. So I will see you all next month or in my inbox. We'll see you then. Bye.